Today, I'm going to answer some of the questions we received about antibody testing. There are two main ways we test for COVID-19. The first and most common method is the test that looks for the virus in your system, the PCR test, usually done by nasal swab. When we report our testing rates and confirmed cases, this is the test we're referring to. More than 3,000 Marin residents have been tested using this method. In most cases, this test would be positive during a window of 2 to 3 weeks for people who are infected. The antibody test is different. Instead of looking for the virus, it looks for your body's immune response to the virus. When your body is exposed to a bug like COVID-19, your immune system makes proteins to fight it off. These are called antibodies, and they're specific to every bug you've ever been infected with. Right now, if you've been vaccinated, you probably have antibodies in your system against measles, mumps, polio, and other very serious diseases, and that will protect you. That's the great thing about vaccines. You get immunity without getting sick. Unfortunately, there's no vaccine yet for COVID-19. And because it's a novel virus, meaning it didn't exist until just a few months ago, the entire global population has virtually no immunity. As COVID-19 moves through Marin, it will be helpful for us to know who is immune and who is still susceptible. Right now, we estimate that at least 95% of our community is still susceptible, which is why we need to be so cautious as we lift any shelter-in-place elements. An accurate antibody test, if it existed, could tell us whether or not you've been infected in the past by looking at whether or not your immune system has made antibodies against COVID-19 virus. Eventually, that kind of information can tell us about the prevalence of immunity within Marin and who might be put back on the front lines most safely, knowing that they're protected. But here are the current challenges with antibody testing. The FDA appropriately relaxed its usual process of scientific review and validation of any diagnostic tests coming out of the market in order to accelerate development. Right now, we're in sort of a Wild West phase with over 100 different brands and more coming online every week with different levels of quality and performance. And getting faulty results is a problem and can be worse than no results because we don't want to assume someone is immune if they're not, or vice versa. It will take at least a month to better understand from a huge range of options what tests are most reliable to hang our hat on. Secondly, even if we assume the test is accurate, we still don't know exactly what immunity means. We don't know whether the presence of antibodies actually offers protection against reinfection with COVID-19, and if so, for how long. This is my situation. Having recovered from COVID-19 infection and having a positive test for the virus, followed by a test that showed a strong signal for the long-term protective antibodies, it's still not clear what that means for me in terms of my level of protection. I hope we'll learn that I'm well protected forever. So knowing which tests are the most accurate and getting a better understanding of whether antibodies actually protect us will help guide our approach to adding antibody testing to our tool chest in our county-wide response. I hope this answers some of the questions about testing and explains why antibody testing is not yet being widely promoted for residents. We're not quite there, but we're making quick progress. Please remember, if you're having symptoms of cough or fever or shortness of breath, please reach out to your doctor because we do have the testing resources to get you in for the usual test to see if you're infected. Thank you, Marin. Stay at home and stay healthy.